Okay, so what we're talking about here is really, we'll do these series of questions on costing systems, and let's begin. So we have this is just a job, like a painting or something along those lines. So you have this job, specific job, which will need a series of resources. So you're told that you have direct materials, you're spending £60. Direct labor, you will spend £40. And direct expenses, you will spend £20. So these are referred to as prime costs, primary costs. So far you have £120 spent so far. Then you're also told that the reason they tell you the value of direct labor is because the question says production overheads are absorbed at a rate of £16 per direct labor hour. So the question here is that if you're paying someone £8 an hour and you're paying a total of £40, you therefore need 5 hours, right, of labor. So therefore the production overhead, if you like, is 5 times 16, which is equal to 80. So that's that production overheads. But you're also told you also have non-production overheads as well at 60% of the prime cost, which is 60% of 120, which is 72. So in total, you have 120 plus 80 plus 72, and you have 272. You have 272. And that's question 60, and that's question 68. Right. This question says that a business operates a batch costing system, and the prime cost of a batch is 6,840. That's the prime cost of a batch, and it uses 156 direct labor hours. What we're told is we're given, if you like, the overhead absorption rate for the overheads, and that's 300,000 divided by the 60,000, and that's £5 an hour per overhead hour. £5 per overhead hour. That's what we have, £5 per. So for every labor hour, we will attach £5 of overhead. So for this batch, we have 156 labor hours, right? So 5 times 156, 5 times 156 is equal to 780. So we have £780 associated with this batch. And so we have a total cost of 6840 for this batch, and this is the prime cost, this is the direct cost, plus the overheads, 780 as well, plus the overheads, 6840, 6840 plus 780 is equal to 7,620. 7,620. Yes. So that's the value of the entire batch. There are 500 items in there. So it is 7,620 divided by 500, right? Because that's what's in each of that. And so you have a figure of £15.24, right? And that's how we deal with 69, £15 and 24. Yeah, good. Question 70. Okay, I thought this was a bit of an odd question, but how did I do this? Well, I thought, okay, what we have here is that I had to kind of, first of all, I think the first bit is to find what the total cost is, because we need to spread that cost. So we have 100,000 plus 5,000 plus 22,500. So adding all these together, first of all, gives you the total cost, 100,000 plus 100,000 plus 5,000 plus 22,500. 22,500. And so we have a total of 127,500. That's the first thing that we have. That's the first thing. Now, the next thing we need to be asking ourselves is, well, how many beds on average do we have for the period? So you have rooms with twin beds on average on a daily sort of, well, it doesn't, well, yeah, on a daily sort of situation. I mean, the period is for 30 days in total. I just think there's just so much information that didn't feel needed. So you have 200 rooms with twin beds. So I suppose if you have 200 rooms with twin beds, that means that there's 2 beds in each room in a in a room with twin beds. So there's 2 beds in each room. So automatically that's 200 times 2. And then you have single rooms, which is 30. So you have a total of 430 beds being occupied daily. So I suppose if you're talking about a month, which is 30, we then need to multiply this by 30 to know, on average, we have a situation of 12,900 beds, so to speak, to spread the costs over. So we now spread the costs over that 127,500 divided by 12,900. 127,500 divided by 12,900 gives you £9.88. £9.88. So your answer is B. I didn't really need this information here. I'm sure there's another way to do it. I can't quite see why. Number of guests in a period, average length of stay. I suppose if I'd multiplied these two together, because that's another way of thinking about it. If I had done 6,450 times 2, average length of stay, 6,450 times 6,450 times 2, gets me to 12,900 as well. 12,000. So that, in a way, I suppose I can see where they're going. Because if you have the total number of guests in a period, they sleep in beds, obviously, and they stay for 2 days, then you have the total number of guests, because their average length is 2 days, so the total time they spend with us is, if you like, is 12,900 in terms of total number of guests would be 12,900 is another way of looking at it. But I actually, yeah, I think it's a bit of a long-winded question, but it's a bit of an anomaly. But I wouldn't scratch my head too much about it. And that's question 70. Let's look at the next one. Yes. So let's look at 71. I think definitely for service organizations, we do not have high levels of inventory. It's not, you're not really selling stock. You're selling a service. Typically, of course, what we now have is a high proportion of fixed costs, rentals, maintenance, salaries, and it can be difficult because you're not selling a product that's tangible somewhat. You're selling an intangible. Imagine you're at the passport office, or you're at the post office. How do you identify what a cost unit is given the variety of or the individuality of the needs? So definitely 2 and 3 ring true. I think the rest are a bit, definitely 1 is not, so this cancels out all of these automatically. Because 1 is untrue. So it's 2 and 3. And so that brings us to the end of that set of questions.